I'm a fraud. I'm an imposter. I don't belong here. If they found out who I really am, they'll probably reject me. How y'all doing? I'm Lance. I want to talk to y'all about something a little bit different today. This is something I've been wrestling with for this entire past year, trying to figure out how to work through it, how to process it, what's the right way to frame it in a way that is palatable and being able to process, being able to work through it. What I'm talking about is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is defined as a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. Some of you watching this may completely relate with this exact definition or have experienced this before. Maybe you got a new job, maybe you moved to a new area, maybe you have a new hobby that you're picking up or whatnot, or a new social circle that you're a part of. It seems to track us all down no matter who we are. You see, for this past year, I've been struggling with something heavy in that I didn't know where I belong. I don't know what my place is in regards to where I work at. You see, here's the thing. I've just gotten this position in ministry, and it's a dream job. It's a great place to work or with a great group of individuals. And I feel like God had brought me to this point with all the things that preceded before it and all the things that happened before. But here's the thing. I'm a creative. I'm not a ministry kind of person. I rap, I make vlogs, I podcast, and I drink coffee excessively. With me, when it comes to imposter syndrome, it manifested kind of in an ugly way. I would work long, treacherous hours, longer than needed, to try to overcompensate and make up for the doubt that I feel inside of myself, inside of my heart. I would create these unclear goals because I was unclear about who I was and who I wanted to be in the role that I'm in. And so if you keep moving a goalpost on yourself, you're playing this mental game of I don't belong, I'm close to belonging, I don't belong, I'm close to belonging. It's treacherous. What's worse is all my hobbies and all the things that I love, they suffered on the side. I did way less music. I didn't do a bunch of podcasts. I was supposed to do vlogs like this on a more consistent basis all throughout last year, but because of wanting to put quote unquote more hours into work or not feeling like I deserved to do anything outside of my role, it kind of sucked for a while. Those were the things that were actually giving me life. In my old position, being able to go home and write a song or produce a song or being able to make a video and put it on YouTube, those were the things that kept me going. So no matter how much I hated my job, which I hated my job a lot, I was able to use those things as tools to keep going. But in my current position, it's a little different because I love this role. I love what I'm doing. I know that I'm doing it for a purpose. But there goes the overcompensation. How is somebody like me, coming from where I'm coming from, with my qualifications and my skill set, how am I supposed to fit in this new place, in this new role? It's such a hard thing. Even Maya Angelou, famed author, struggled with this same thing of imposter syndrome. She has a quote I love. I have written 11 books, but each time I think, they're going to find out now. I've run a game on everybody, and they're going to find me out. We can't help but think that somebody is going to out us, and the security that we have isn't going to be secure anymore, and that we're going to have a game of musical chairs going on based on our performance or based on who we are, based on these invisible attributes. But going through this year, I found out everything's going to be okay. That's actually not going to happen. That's never going to happen. there's a few things at play here, right? Here's some things that I've learned, and I'm hoping I can share it with you so you can be able to process this and be able to take my experience, even though I'm not perfect and I'm not all the way through it and over it, but you can use it hopefully for your betterment. First thing is, God has placed you where you are for a reason. Nobody can get in the way of that. Nobody can take anything from that. God specifically has set you and put you in this place and in this space for a purpose or for a reason. That's comforting for me, because no matter what I do, not that I should be negligent in my work, but typically people who have imposter syndrome, it's never going to be whether or not you're negligent. You're probably going to be overcompensating. But either which way, no matter what you do, your position is not reliant upon you. It's relying upon the person who gave it to you and provided it for you. Another thing is, pick a career, a hobby, or a field that helps you learn your identity. So like, if you are picking a field and if you are going to be wrestling with this, wrestle with it in a place that you love. In ministry, I'm able to lean into different skill sets that I've had and that I've gathered over this past decade, and I'm able to put it into my work. And so no matter what, I'm able to lean in a different area, whether it's a creative aspect, whether it's an administrative aspect, public speaking, whatever it may be, I'm able to utilize those things. This is super important. Talk about it with other people. You're not alone. You either might find out that other people are experiencing the same thing that you're experiencing, or they're at the very least going to tell you that they experienced it before, or that nobody is figured it out. And no matter what job you're doing, no matter what work you're doing, just know that nobody is an expert. No matter if they are expert, they're not even an expert. I like this one a lot. File positive feedback to use for later validation. And this is helpful. When somebody says that you did something well or that something was good, sometimes we have the tendency to receive it and puff us up. And that's not that you can't receive compliments, but that's not a helpful way to use a compliment. What you want to do is take it and say, you know what? I did spend a lot of time on this. I spent a lot of effort on this. You know what? Thank you very much. I'm going to file that for later when I am in a corner, sitting in a fetal position, because I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my position. You're able to pull that out of the back of your brain and say, you know what? I don't suck. I did do something good, or I did these couple of good things, because you're able to create this file system of affirmation, self-affirmation, so to speak, so that you can keep going and keep pushing through. Another one, you belong. You're not an imposter. No matter what nobody says, no matter what anybody says, even if you feel like you are, even if you are, you're not. You have this position now. You have this role now, and you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta make do with what you gotta do with it. No matter where you come from and no matter where you're going to, it's yours now. You're in that position. So you belong by default. Pick up other hobbies that are not tied to your work. I've picked up a few hobbies. I have hobbies that are tied in with my work and hobbies that are not. Got this guitar back here because I'm trying to learn how to play this. Probably got to tune that. But I'm trying to also do other things that are not tied to, so maybe that's working out, maybe that's fitness, maybe it's something that's just a little more binary, right? Something, fixing up something, or a craft, something that's not completely tied into your work, because you need to take some space away from it. So just remember, as I'm saying all this, and I hope this isn't too long, God loves you. You do belong. I'm praying for you, and we are in this together. We're gonna make it through. An imposter or not, no imposter, we're gonna make it through, and we are going to belong no matter whether or not we feel like we deserve to or not, because God has placed us here. Peace.